The Jamaica government to relax some of the restrictions under the states of emergency during the Christmas season. And in sport, fast bowling legend Sir Andy Roberts has questions over the appointment of Miles Bascom to the West Indies men's selection panel. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean Intent for Thursday, October 17th, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
There's a new movie out this week called Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. He's in the title role about the infamous villain from the Batman comic books, TV show, and movies. Back when I was a kid, about 8 years old, Batman was my favorite TV show. And Cesar Romero's Joker was a laughable and campy character. In the 1990s, the Joker role became somewhat dark, but Jack Nicholson's portrayal still had a comedic touch to it. The Joker became darker still in subsequent films.
You know, my first question for you, what motivated you to start your own musical work? What was your passion? What it is?
Well, I definitely have a huge passion for art. And a few years ago, I started to sing. Because I've been writing music for a very long time. But I never had the courage to really go out there on stage and perform. And when I finally took that step,
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government will relax some of the restrictions under the states of emergency during the Christmas season. He made the announcement in Parliament in response to concerns that the SOEs declared in some areas to combat rising crime would impact vendors and shoppers during the festive season.
The end of November, or even before that, we will put in place the special provisions to ensure that the SOEs operate throughout December without affecting what people have grown accustomed to in the enjoyment of the season. It is the intention of the government to ensure that by the Christmas period, by the first week in December, that the closing times are adjusted accordingly to allow people to enjoy the season. It is not the intention of the government to take away the enjoyment of the people.
In other news now, government and opposition appointed commissioners at the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, are at odds over the registration of some voters. The opposition commissioners charge that there are moves to prevent some people from voting, and they say they are not ruling out taking the matter to court. We get the details in this report from HGP Nightly News.
Charles Corbin still wants persons who have been registered to verify their registration. Additionally, the commissioner is alleging that there is another push to have some persons deregistered.
Because they didn't go uplift the ID cards and they know where they're there. Well, you know what the law says? There are two ways in which you can take people off the register. If they die, and you can prove that, or if they're gone crazy.
She added that it would appear as though the pro-government commissioners are afraid of people going and vote. Any move to bar persons from not voting, according to Shadiq, will be challenged in the courts. But according to government-appointed Commissioner Vincent Alexander, there are no plans to deregister anyone.
The invitation to electors who did not participate in the house-to-house exercise, whose names are on the preliminary list, to come forward and do a verification. Which verification, if not done, could result in their names being highlighted on the eventual voters list. So there will be no deletion of names, but the names may be highlighted.
Staying in Guyana, President David Granger has confirmed that he has held talks with leader of the Liberty and Justice Party, the LJP, on how the fledgling political party and his coalition can work together. Granger leads the governing five-party Partnership for National Unity, the APNU. Now, speaking to reporters yesterday, he said APNU is ready to welcome other parties that share its objectives to develop Guyana, and that is the basis of his talks with Lennox Schumann, presidential candidate of the LJP, which was formed in January this year.
I've had preliminary exploratory talks with Mr. Schumann. We are looking for common ground. We're looking for areas of convergence. Mr. Schumann has given me the assurance that there are areas of convergence between the Liberty and Justice Party, LJP, and what he thinks the APNU stands for. So we have not actually come to any agreement. The talks are exploratory, but he is convinced that there is a wide area of convergence between the policies of our partnership and his party.
And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
The thing to keep in mind is that when statements like some of the ones in the previous segment were made, I think those make Trump's base excited and they double down on him. So I think it'll have an interesting effect. I don't think it's going to make anybody change their mind.
I think the economy is the key to all this. I don't think it's a coincidence that as we start to whisper about a potential recession, people are really then starting to drum.
So now let me share with you guys how to make chocolate covered strawberry. To make this, it's very simple. Here I have white chocolate. I'm actually using white melting wafers. These are especially made for candy making and dipping. I have the dark melting chocolate wafers. If you wanted to use milk chocolate, you can. Now I'm going to be dipping the strawberries in the dark chocolate by drizzling white chocolate over them when they're finished.
Fast bowling legend Sir Andy Roberts has questioned the appointment of Miles Bascom to the West Indies men's selection panel and believes the former Windward Islands batsman should have withdrawn himself from the consideration after having been a member of the recent Cricket West Indies task force, which led to an overhaul of the regional selection policy. The outspoken former Windies coach contended Bascom did not possess enough first-class experience to sufficiently qualify him for the role he now occupied beside former Test off spinner Roger Harper and newly appointed head coach Phil Simmons. Bascom's appointment came as a surprise, especially considering his tepid playing career, which yielded 24 first-class matches at an average of 21 and a single T20 international for West Indies against England 8 years ago. However, CWI President Dr. Kishore Shallow has chaired the interview panel during the recruitment process for selectors, defended Bascom's appointment, arguing that the process had been a robust one that had seen the former player pass every test put before him. And West Indies cricket legend Brian Charles Lara will be among over 100 cricket legends who will suit up for a T20 series, which will promote a road safety series in India. HGP's Jaden Samuel reports.
Brian Lara, Virender Sehwag and Muttiah Muralitharan are among the big names to feature in a T20 tournament aimed at promoting road safety. This tournament is called the Road Safety World Series. Some other prominent names that are set to be part of the tournament include Jack Callis, Brett Lee, and Shivnarine Chanderpaul. According to ESPN Cricinfo, the first season of the tournament will be played in 2020 between February 2 and 16 in Mumbai and will feature the following teams: India legends, Australia legends, South Africa legends, Sri Lanka legends, and West Indies legends.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Until then, good afternoon.